Hello, everyone, and welcome to our first interview with a micro business on a mission. I'm very excited to introduce to you a good friend of mine, a fellow Filipina and co-founder of Permaculture Gardens. She is also a mom of six, and I'm excited to hear what she has to say about her business and how it's making this world a better place. So without further ado, I'm going to share the screen with Nicky Schauder. Hi, Nicky.
Hi, everyone. Hi, Emmy. Thanks so much for having me as your first guest on this inaugural live stream of several streams,
I hope
of,
so.
of micro businesses you're featuring.
Yes, we're very excited. I'm very excited. I haven't seen you in a long time, so this is also a treat. But so, as a fellow micro business owner, I am very excited with a business that also has a mission. I'm a beauty counter consultant, as you know, and our mission is to bring safer products into the hands of everyone. But also, we're a B Corp company. So we're B Corp certified, which means we put people, planet, and profit all in the same plane. So we're excited to hear about your business and what its mission is. So go ahead. Maybe you can start with telling us who you are.
Well, first of all, again, I'm so happy and honored to be here, Emmy. And what you've chosen to do during this time is quite noble, rallying micro businesses like ours during a time of coronavirus, and in particular, our business. I am the founder, together with my husband, David Schauder. We founded Permaculture Gardens at growmyownfood.com. And this website is all about gardening for food, for medicine, and finding God through ecological gardening, which sometimes some people may even think, they're diametrically opposed, but we think they're congruent, and we believe they're congruent. And it's what we have passion to do is to serve people, families in particular, in the suburbs. And that's why permaculture is something that's been known to serve large scale agricultural farms and tracts of land for the most part up until recently. But we believe that since a lot of the population and a lot of our own experience has been in suburban living and trying to live it out even in small spaces, that's where our niche is.
And sorry, I'm just going to mention that you do live in a small area, like a townhouse with a small yard in the back and in the front, right?
That is right, Emmy. Thanks for bringing that up. We live on 1/40th of an acre, which is so small because it's just a little squeezed in townhouse. And we grow from the front, we grow from the back, we grow in pots, we grow indoors, and we teach people with even bigger places to grow their own food, medicine, and find God in the garden at home. So, yeah.
Can you refresh my memory? I forget how many pounds of food you harvest each season.
So it gets higher and higher every season. I have some examples for you. This is like a daily harvest right now. This is probably the last big tomato harvest we're going to get now from the garden. And these are just exquisite. This is Rose de Bern, heirloom varieties, which you cannot get from the store. And just today, this is more than like a pound of beans. And I know you're growing too, Emmy. So I know you have your own little stash to be proud of.
But thanks to you, I have to say, you got me started. I wasn't even a brown thumb. I'm a black thumb. So she got me started, and in spite of everything, I was able to grow. So thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. So it's on growmyownfood.com is an online resource for permaculture, which is growing holistically by design based on observation, working with nature, not against it. And I almost hesitate to say, organically, not because we're not organic. We grow without pesticides for sure. But while organic is good, that it's better than conventional growers, no pesticides. It sometimes may not take into consideration your stewardship of the land, your stewardship of the water, of the resources that you have. And that's a big part of what we like to do. God has given us, I love kitchens. This is not even my business, and this is not a micro business, but kitchen stewardship is another business. And she likes to say, Katie Campbell likes to say that God has given us everything we have, and that's all that we need, and we just need to steward it. And I think that that's so true. And from that stewardship comes this abundance of overflow that more than what you need to give it away. You need to teach other people to do the same, and that's what we're here to do.
Well, I think, and that sounds wonderful, Nikki, but I think what turns people off or they feel intimidated is that the time commitment. And I think you keep saying it's the lazy way to garden.
Yes.
So can you explain how that works?
Well, okay. I just had this, I was listening to somebody else. I tried to do productivity things, and I was listening to somebody who was saying how he had this whole checklist so that he's ready when he walks out the door. If his wife says, I need raspberries, he can go get them. And I had to think a little bit, because when I need raspberries, I just go walk out the door literally and get them. And that takes me 1 minute. Okay. This person was like, I need to put it on a list. And I need that my wife reminded me, I need to drive to the store. When I'm driving, I have to remember to pick up these raspberries, on the way to the store, and save time that way. But really the most time-saving, money-saving thing you can do is to grow your own food yourself, I think. And most people don't realize that, because there is an investment of learning, right, and that there's an investment of installation. But once it's installed, once you have that weekend that you've dedicated to install a garden, after a few weeks of preparation, then you can essentially for the next year, work 10 days actively in a year and reap, we get 25% of our produce. Some people get more from their backyards. And so I think it's a great investment, and it's a great learning experience to go back to actually what we used to be doing as human beings on this earth, and to relate more to a lot of things, to relate more to scripture, to relate more to who we are on this planet, as opposed to being separated from the process of eating this food, this sacred food that we have. It's so separated that we don't even know where our chicken nuggets, we don't see that in our brains. But when we see this, and we see that it's all wrinkly and whatever, and you eat it and it's divine, you're like, wow, this is what eating food was meant to be.
Yeah, it doesn't look perfect. It's not like the grocery or even Costco things that are immaculate. They sometimes look strange, but the taste is incredible. So so I think you've kind of touched on why your business is unique and what sets it apart. Is there anything else you want to add to that, other than the just a holistic and natural, sustainable, which is already all good?
Well, I think what sets us apart, there's so many permaculture and even more garden businesses out there, which we honestly love each one of them, because there's this gardening spirit that we have. In permaculture, we like to talk about niches, like I said. But I think our specific niche, yes, it's suburban, but we are also innovators. We love science. We love God. We love that research and development. We're always doing something fun. We gamify the way that we motivate our families to grow their own food, by having these, these challenges within their growing. If they finish a course, then they get this. If they finish the whole course, they get a blueberry. And I think that makes gardening more fun for us, the community aspect of it. And also just we're developing an app that's a garden designer. We really want to think, long term, we're thinking a database of everything agricultural. We're actively looking for grants, agriculture grants that we can do within our capabilities. We just applied for so we're always researching. We're always trying to grow in that area we're always learning about the garden. We're always learning about community and how to share this business, with other people. And and eventually, hopefully, make this a cooperative. So I don't know if that still qualifies for micro business, but
well, you started off as a micro business.
Yes, I started off as a micro
counts.
business.
Our goal is to help micro businesses grow out of being a micro business. So yes, you still have micro business roots. So you mentioned that it's a fun way to do permaculture gardenings, and you also offer something for children, right? For kids to get involved. And you have how many?
You're so kind. We have 6 kids. My eldest is here beside me. You want to say hi?
Oh my goodness. How do you do it with 6 kids? See, this is what I'm talking about. In my introduction, I was like, if she can do it, guys, you can do this too.
You know, you sometimes we place these restrictions, even with potted plants are grown in pots, and that's a restrictive way to grow them. But they still bloom, and you can still get fruit out of them. Maybe where they want to be is like bigger soil, but if you place these, it's still, nature finds a way to adapt to it, I think, and God has revealed that definitely in that little part of the divine, that infinite in Him to do so many things, I think is a part of. We don't realize how much as human beings. We look at the limited, but we don't look at the expansive, how much we can grow and how much we can. I'm reading a book called Peak right now, which is just the premise of which is we can grow so much more physically, mentally, spiritually, you name it, than we think we can. So in light of like making things fun and such, I don't know how many people are on here, and I can't actually, I'm not on the live page, but if you can view that, Emmy, I can. Do we have any viewers, or are there?
Yeah, we have.
And if we
viewers.
don't, then the record. Good. And if we don't, then we can have the recording.
Yes.
The first one. Should I do this, Emmy? Sorry.
Sure.
I thought it was a good segue into this.
Yes.
Yes. So thank you for staying till the end. If you stay a little longer, we have a little raffle for you, which we should have talked to you about in the beginning.
Before. Yes. I did mention it in the introduction. This is the first time. So,
I'm so sorry. I should have said something too. But I am giving away these Chantenay carrot seeds, which are perfect to grow now wherever you are in the United States. You can try it if you're abroad too. But they're really delicious, and we will ship this to you and ship, with directions on how to grow them and such. If you can answer a little bit, anything that you remember from what is permaculture, from the question, from what permaculture is.
Yes.
Say anything that they remember I said, or if you know anything about permaculture, please type it in the chat box.
And you could win this.
And the first one who does.
The first one who does.
Yes, the first one who does, whether it is now or later in the recording.
I don't see anyone who has answered anything, but yes, if they answer in the recording, the first one to answer will receive.
Give it a go. It doesn't have to be right.
It doesn't.
And I won't be mean.
It's all about growth, right? We learn from our mistakes. So I love how you are able to do that with connect the growth in the garden with growth in life. One last thing I wanted to ask you is the benefits of not just permaculture, but growing your own food at home as a family. If you could just say a couple of things about that.
Yes. So we started this garden journey first when Zoe here was a baby. When she was born, she was diagnosed with failure to thrive. And that was heartbreaking for us. And
hi, Alex. Sorry. Yeah. I'm just saying.
Hey, Alex. We didn't know what we were doing wrong as parents. And, at that time I was eating McDonald's, Kentucky Fried Chicken, everything bad. Goodness. And I think that could have contributed to her allergies, because she had mega allergies and still does, but they're much fewer than they were when they were at the beginning. And my second son, same thing, mega allergies, lots of trips to the ER. But eventually, like little by little, we felt, and we have no scientific evidence, like we didn't do a study or anything, that the food had a big part to play in their being born with allergies, and the eventual like gradually amelioration of those allergies through the years. And so that was the impetus of us wanting to grow our own food. And that kind of, it fuels us today to keep on doing it so that we can live our lives to the fullest maximum potential that God wanted us to live our lives. And so I think that, sorry, what was your question?
Well, the benefits. The benefits
are health benefits, spiritual, economic benefits, obviously, because $6 per pound for, one of our clients just half the year, she had already grown 300 pounds, which is what we grew last year in our tiny yard. Wow. That's 306, am I right? $1,800 in savings of groceries.
That's crazy.
Half the year, okay? Half a year. So just imagine, and on our website it says grow $700 worth of produce in a 10 by 10 square foot of a plot of land. But really, you can take it to the limit with that. So yeah, you save a lot of money, and then you find God because you see these patterns in nature and you're like, there's some order to this. Yes. And there is some reason for this. And there's like infinite meditations just by witnessing growth and death and enriching the soil and all that, and everything that's working together below the ground to create the life that's above the ground, to support our human life. It's amazing. Everything just comes together a little more fully when you read the book of life and the book of like the scripture and kind of meld those two together. So
that's beautiful. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. I think we have an answer here from Emily. She had, let me see if I can get the new one. There was another post that she I can't show the other one. It doesn't show up. But anyway, she said that think in patterns when doing permaculture, she said, just like Billings. So she,
like Billings? What did you mean?
Yeah, she said just like Billings, I guess the Billings method.
Oh, wait. What is the Billings method? Remind me.
NFP. It's NFP.
I was going to say, I'm like, that has to do something with pregnancy. I'm like, obviously, I don't know that since I have 6 kids.
She works in a women's center. So.
No, just kidding. But
that's exactly what you were talking about, right?
No, yeah. And by the way, yes, I am now looking at my period pattern. So it's all patterns.
Did she win? Did Emily win?
Yes, Emily, you definitely win. So Emily, if you could go and to permaculturegardens@gmail.com. Permaculturegardens@gmail.com. Could you just send me your mailing address and let me know if you want to be on the newsletter as well? Anybody who wants to be on the newsletter, same thing. And
so you want me to put that email address?
You got it.
Okay, that's awesome. Thank you so much.
Yeah, you can put the email address here.
Yes. I'm actually going to offer one too. If anyone who is watching or who will watch the replay says, can remember what the mission of my business is, Beauty Counter, and the first one to answer can also receive a surprise. So just send that or comment below or message me and we'll see who wins. Well, we're past 15 minutes. I was going to keep it down. So thank you, Nicky, so much. Say hi to Dave and the kids. And thanks so much for joining us today. Thank you, everyone.
My pleasure. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye.